All right, well, as we've been mentioning, the man suspected of carrying out Saturday's terror attack in Berlin has been shot dead by police. The city's interior minister confirmed a major operation in the western Spandau suburb. Police posted online that officers opened fire after the suspect ran at them with a bladed weapon when his hideout was discovered in a community garden. Germany's interior minister called the attack on the capital's Pride celebrations an act of Islamist terror. One person was killed and another 29 were injured.
The morning after the deadly van ramming attack on Berlin's Pride parade, police are combing the city's Tiergarten Park, not far from where the vehicle used in the attack was discarded after it crashed into a tree. It happened around 10 p.m. local time. The closing party of Pride Week, known as Christopher Street Day, was in full swing. The parade of some 600,000 revelers and 80 trucks had made its way through downtown Berlin and arrived at Tiergarten Park, near the Brandenburg Gate. That's when a white van drove through the park, ramming through the crowd. Witnesses describe what they saw.
We just heard a loud bang, so we definitely knew that there had been a collision. And then we looked over and saw countless patrol cars driving past us, around us, and right next to us. About 5 minutes later, there was a dull thud, followed by a few loud screams. At first, we couldn't tell what was going on because of the party and the music and the atmosphere, and we only realized later exactly what was happening when the police, armed with machine guns, cleared the park.
By 10:15 p.m., organizers called off the event and asked people to go home and avoid the route through the park.
We didn't see any signs of panic breaking out. We immediately heard the helicopters and the police. And we immediately received an announcement. I'm a little hoarse because I've had to talk a lot today. We immediately received a very professional announcement explaining how we should handle such situations. And we reacted immediately and activated our evacuation plan right away.
A large-scale response by first responders transported the injured to area hospitals. This is the 10th deadly vehicle ramming incident in Germany since 2016. Attackers have targeted Christmas markets, pedestrian zones, and street events. Authorities have added preventative measures such as temporary barriers, but reconciling tight security and public access remains a difficult balancing act. That openness is something Germany's Chancellor says must be maintained. Friedrich Merz posted this message on social media this morning. We are open and freedom-loving, and we will preserve and defend that. The act will be investigated and pursued with the utmost severity. My thoughts are with the victims and their families. I wish the injured a swift recovery and thank all emergency responders. The morning after the attack, mourners ignored concerns about the at-large suspect and laid flowers near the scene.
All right, Alfonso Pantisano, Queer Commissioner of the Berlin State Government for the Acceptance of Sexual and Gender Diversity, is here in studio with me. Thanks so much for coming in. First and foremost, how is the LGBTQ community feeling after this attack?
We are in a total state of shock, and we are mourning the tragic events of last night, and especially the deceased woman and all the other injured people that are now being treated in Berlin's hospitals.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty grim number of people, that's for sure. Now, Christopher Street Day or Pride has long been a symbol of freedom, of diversity. What does an attack like this mean for Berlin and also for its identity as well as an open city?
Well, it means that we are under attack, and we have been so for a long time now. Many governments, many religious faiths, they are like really attacking us. They try to make us believe that we are not equal to everyone else. The situation is on a pure backlash everywhere, not only in Berlin and in Germany, but also in Eastern Europe, as we observed it in Hungary, and we are seeing it in Russia since over a decade. And if we look at the other side of the pond, to the US, we see what it means to be attacking minorities day by day.
Do you think enough is being done then in Germany to protect, say, queer events and public gatherings?
Yes, we are doing as much as we can in order to protect public events. Every year I have a feeling that the security measurements are becoming more and more accurate, more and more extensive. But still, I think I have learned over the years that there is no such thing of a 100% security. If an attacker wants to attack someone, they will find a way of doing so. What worries me more at the moment is how society is looking at the LGBTQ requests of being treated equally, and how many people are starting to feel like this is getting out of hand, this is getting too much, this is getting on our nerves. And religious groups who are trying to being more and more radical on cleric books, and I think that is something that is worrying us a lot. The Islam can be very radical, as we have seen again, but other religions are doing their job very well as well in putting minorities on their spot. And we're seeing also right-wing movements rising everywhere. In Germany, we are fearing what is going to happen with the AfD and the extremist rights. But at the same time, I'm also seeing a huge shift with regular people that declare themselves at 100% Democrats, who are also apparently annoyed by the requests of the LGBTQ community on being treated equally.
What would you like to see then from Germany's political leaders in the coming days and weeks?
That they don't just talk and talk like Friedrich Merz did today in the church, that he promises us that he will do everything possible to protect us, but then at the same time they cut every single funding in protecting this community. And at the same time, when he declared tonight that he believes that violence doesn't only begin by someone hitting someone, but also by cynical comments, he should pick his own nose and realize that he is one of those who has started the public conversation on letting the community know that you are not accepted and you will never be accepted under my leadership. This is what he told us when he compared the queer community with a circus tent. And we haven't forgotten that, and he should not forget that either, because he is supposed to be our leader. But at the moment he's leading the movement in telling us that we will never be accepted.
Can you tell us what can be done then to sort of make sure that the community is well protected? Give me some sort of examples of that.
The government is doing what they can with a strategy that we have implemented this year in order to protect the community. The security departments are trying their very best in protecting us the best they can. And what people should really do, and this might sound cynical, but I mean it full-heartedly, they should take out their constitution, especially in this country, and read it through and understand that human rights and dignity is inviolable, and that equal rights should mean equal rights for everyone. This country is now old. It had its birthday in 1945, after the Second World War and after the time of the Nazis. And it doesn't look like that they have learned much on how to treat everyone the same. And that is a huge problem for this democracy.
OK, we'll leave it there. Alfonso Pantisano, Queer Commissioner of the Berlin State Government. Thanks for coming in to us today.
Thank you for having me.